Are you breaking the law? With home brewing, you may have unintentionally crossed into a shady, criminal underworld. Stay watching and I'll give you a brief history of where we've come from and where we're going to vis-a-vis home brewing and the law. So Dan and I put out a poll. It revealed that of people polled, give away some or all of their home brew. 21% admitted brewing for other people all the time. I'm going to go into what is lawful when it comes to home brewing, but first let's look at some key dates and players when it came to the formation of laws around home brewing. So for about 7,000 years, beer has been brewed domestically. And as far as we can see, for home brewers, they were left pretty much alone by the authorities until we had various acts of parliament, which I'll go through the most important ones. The Beer House Act of 1830 was an act of parliament in the United Kingdom which liberalised the regulations governing brewing and the sale of beer. And the precursor to this act was the Ale House Act of 1828, which established a general annual licensing meeting for the purposes of granting licenses to inns, alehouses and victualling houses. I think this is an oldie worldy way of saying a cafe, to sell excisable liquors to be drunk on the premises. The Beer House Act of 1830 enabled any ratepayer to brew and sell beer on the premises on payment of a licence costing 2 guineas. The intention was to create increased competition between breweries, lower prices and encourage people to drink beer instead of strong spirits. Get rid of the gin dens of the 1800s. It resulted in the opening of thousands of new public houses and breweries throughout the country. But what about home brewing, I hear you cry? If you didn't sell it, you can crack on. Until the Inland Revenue Act of 1880 introduced a 5-shilling home brew licence. Oh crap. The then Prime Minister William Gladestone was getting desperate to raise revenue after abolishing a malt tax. Homebrewers, we had a choice. Pay the fee or go clandestine. Secretive. Underground, as you might have guessed. The uptake of licences was small, and in the middle of the 20th century, only about 250 of these licences had been granted. So now we get to a very important date, 1963, and enter stage left our hero of the piece. Actually, he was a rogue, bit of a villain, the Chancellor of the Exchequer at the time, Reginald Maudling. Maudling, as the Chancellor, abolished the rate of duty on homebrew beer, which, in effect, legalised it. This was the period in which Maudling was at his most popular in the Conservative Party and within the country itself. Who knew? Abolish tax on homebrew beer and you become popular. So when this was discussed in Parliament, and I'll read this verbatim, one MP stood up and said,
"There is one other agreeable consequence. Under the present law, people who brew beer, either for their own consumption or in the case of the farmers, for the consumption of the workers, are required to take out an excise licence and in some cases to pay a duty based on the Schedule A valuation. The abolition of Schedule A valuation provides a convenient opportunity for getting rid of these licenses. So the private citizen will have the same freedom to brew beer as they do in the production of wine."
Nothing to do with homebrew, but a really good story about Reginald Maudling. After Bloody Sunday, Reginald Maudling gave a statement to the House of Commons, agreeing with the army statement, claiming that the army had only opened fire in self-defence. Northern Irish politician Bernadette Devlyn, who had been present in Derry at the time of the incident, attempted to respond to the statement, but was denied by Speaker of the House, Selwyn Lloyd. So after this, Devlyn walked across the House of Commons and slapped Maudling in the face. Interesting one for homebrewers, Maudling died at the Royal Free Hospital in London of kidney failure and liver cirrhosis on 14th of February 1979. He was only 61. So now to the States. It remained illegal until 1978, when Congress passed a bill repealing the federal restrictions in excise taxes. And the then President, Jimmy Carter, nicknamed the Peanut President, signed the bill HR 1337 into law, allowing home brewing to become legal in the United States. So what can I do under the current laws regarding home brewing in the UK? So the good news is you can brew as much as you like, anytime you like, as long as it's for personal consumption. Bad news is you have to drink it on the premises that it was brewed. So as of July 2023, which is when I'm shooting this video, you cannot sell your home brew in any quantity, and if you do, you face a fine or prosecution. But on top of that, you can't swap it like bartering. For example, you couldn't come over, cut my grass, and I give you some homebrew as a thank you. But we can drink copious amounts of said homebrew on the manicured lawn which you've just cut. You can't even give it away as a Christmas gift, a thank you, or a pop this in your bag, let me know what you think of it. So in conclusion, you can brew as much of it as you like, but don't let any of it escape off your premises.
Or you can step over that very fine line between criminal and underworld. Give it to friend, take it to parties, and indulge in beer.
My name is Phil, I'm one half of the Ginger Brewers. If you haven't already, can you subscribe? Let us know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like me to cover. And also let me know if you like this type of video, a bit of information about brewing. Click this one. It's a brew day.